Hi, Floppers. Before we start this episode, I just wanted to remind you we are in the middle of Flop TV Season 2. That's right, the 1-hour internet televised Flophouse TV show is here for you the first Saturday of every month through February. Just go to theflophouse.simpletix.com and get your tickets or season pass for this all-new Flophouse TV stuff. We're covering movies we've never covered before. We've got video segments. It's amazing. Just go to theflophouse.simpletix.com for Flop TV Season 2. This time, it's personal.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, and I'm a robot for some reason.
Oh, that's cool. Well, we're trying out something different here. Normally, we have Elliot as a human, but this time we have a robot Elliot because he doesn't need money.
Oh, that's that why
AI Elliot is 1,000 times more efficient than Flesh Elliot.
But don't look at his hands.
But he does.
Don't look at my six-fingered hands. And of course, I cannot come up with original ideas, but can only repackage things that have been said by Elliot before in the past. ROCK in the USA, beep boop.
And also, of course, it takes one full rainforest for 1 minute of Robot Elliot. But I think it's worth it.
But you weren't using that rainforest to begin with.
Yeah. Hey, this is.
I'm just kidding. It's me.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, bummer.
Wow, different reactions.
Yeah, what a rainbow of responses, sure.
Of course, the Flophouse is often a podcast where we watch a bad movie and then we talk about it.
It's always a podcast. Never mind.
Always.
Yeah.
But then on every other week, we do these improperly named mini episodes. They're often very long. And we do something different. And in this case, I am leading the charge. This episode comes after Stuart's mini that when we're recording this just got released, where he looked back on the films of 2024 in sort of a game form. And of course, as this will be coming out in the new year, I will be looking forward in my mini about the movies that are scheduled to be released in 2025.
Okay. Elliot's going to crush this one. Unlike last time, where Elliot struggled a little bit.
If I didn't get to the movies much this year, I'm certainly very aware of what's coming out next year.
This is less of a game and more of a bit of a discussion.
Is it just discussion of the billboards in L.A. that talk about movies that are coming out? Because Elliot would do pretty good.
Yeah.
Guys, I did see some trailers a couple days ago when I had to take my children to the movie Mufasa, a movie that neither of them really liked very much. But we saw some trailers for some other movies, so I know a couple other movies that are coming out. Did you know, guys, there is not a cartoon in existence which is not being live-actioned right now and released for you?
Well, some of those may come up.
Okay, let's
get this.
And yet, no Black Cauldron live-action movie. What's going on, Disney?
Yeah, so consider my breath baited, Dan.
I mean, that would actually be pretty good. I mean, that's the one they should do, Black Cauldron live action.
Yeah.
Like, do it right.
Sure. Not Lilo and Stitch.
Chronicles of Puritan series, maybe.
Or like a live action, not even live action. Do a full-length, hand-drawn Don Bluth Dragon Slayer movie.
Do it.
Sure, yeah.
Just do it.
I don't know why that triggered my Siri. My Siri on my phone. When I said do it, it just
I can't make a
Yeah, Dan, what have you been doing with your Siri?
Nothing. Okay. So this is broken down by month. And for each month, I've assembled a pair of movies, and I'm just going to be asking you which one you might be more excited to see. So
You're like a cinemalier with your movie pairings.
So in January, we've got here are a couple movies that are coming out, and maybe you can tell me which one you're more excited to see. We've got Presents, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Family discover they are not alone when they move into a new house. Soderbergh doing
not with a T, with a C.
horror film.
Oh, he's never really done a horror movie before. He's done thrillers, right? But he did Side Effects, right? But he's never done like a horror movie, huh?
Yeah.
I'd say I was excited about it, but I also I've not really gone out of my way to see the last 4 or 5 Soderbergh movies, and they're all on Netflix, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Logan
I've heard they're good.
they're good. He has gone smaller, but that's kind of, I think the industry like not making his sort of movies. And it's like, well, I'll go where I have the control.
Yeah.
But so either that or, of course, Screamboat, which is, of course, an edgy slasher reimagining of Steamboat Willie.
Whoa!
Finally,
Okay.
finally,
so
he's in the public domain, so we can do this.
Public domain.
This
is Winnie the Pooh's
Did you hear the thing about so soon Popeye is going to be in the public domain, the original Popeye, and people are like, we're already doing horror movies of him. It's like there's got to be a thing other than horror movies to do with these characters, and it's going to be called Blood and Spinach or something. They are cheap.
The only thing that can be done is we need to take beloved characters and turn them into murderers. Yeah. That is what we do.
Or take beloved murderers and turn them into characters.
And then send those characters to USA. They'll be welcome.
Like in my new public domain movie, Lil Jack. So Lil Jack has a problem. He can't stop stabbing prostitutes.
Are they doing like Lil Dexter? Isn't there a show, Lil Dexter? And they got Michael C. Hall to be like the framing device or something?
Did they? I don't know. So it's like the Wonder Years, but Dexter?
I think so,
like
yeah.
Young Sheldon, but Dexter?
Like Young Sheldon, but Dexter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I.e. a great show that's going to run for like 40 seasons.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is a lot of enthusiasm for Screamboat. So
I'm leaning toward. Yeah, I mean, Are
we talking sincerely or ironically?
The trailer for Presence looks interesting enough, and it looks very like, feels very tied to the form of it. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like shot really weird. But
seems like he's doing something new.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
I'd be more interested in that. As bored as I am with haunted house movies, I'm curious to see what he'll do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's move on to February, where I've got a pairing here. I'm curious to see where you land here.
Paddington and Peru.
Would you are you more interested in The Monkey, which is, of course, the new film by Osgood Perkins, who directed Longlegs, and it's based on a Stephen King short story?
Okay.
Or The Unbreakable Boy, about an autistic boy with brittle bone disease and his father, who's played by Zachary Levi, a man who has made no career or personal mistakes recently whatsoever.
I'm out of the loop. What did he do?
Well,
just look it up. I don't know.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Give you a rundown.
But everything you said about that second movie is a red flag for me.
Yeah. So wait, which one was made by the Harold and the Purple Crayon team?
That would be. I don't know if it's by the team.
Yeah.
It's the same star.
Yeah. I guess. Wait, what was the first one?
The Monkey.
I'll see that one. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I like Longlegs. I like Blackcoat's Daughter.
I still haven't seen Longlegs, but I'd rather see that one first. So that Harold and Purple Crayon movie, did that come out?
Dan?
Did that happen?
It happened. It is available. It is on. I think it's on Netflix or some streamer already. We probably should talk about it because
we should probably do it at some point.
A mega flop.
It's and such a misguided. The idea of Harold and the Purple Crayon. We'll talk about this when we do that movie, I guess, at some point. But I love that book. It's a beautiful book. I find it to be such a beautiful poetic book about creativity and the idea that now he's grown up and he's in our world. It's like, what the fuck? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's the Little Prince, but now he's grown up and he's on the run from space pirates. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah. And Stephen King on film has had, there's been a mixed bag, but I like the trailer to the Monkey, and I like Osgood
Stephen
Perkins.
King on film. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. It could be a great movie. It could be a terrible movie, but it's worth the risk.
Okay, in March, coming up in March, we have Sinners, which is the new Ryan Coogler film, which is also his first horror movie. It stars Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers encountering a mysterious evil. Or you could go see, if you were interested, Snow White, the Walt Disney live-action remake starring 7 horrifying CGI dwarves. So,
who plays Snow White?
That's Rachel Ziegler.
Okay.
What was the first movie? Sorry, I was busy reading about.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
If you're
I was busy
going to
reading
make
about.
that.
I was busy reading about Zachary Levi's politics. What's that?
Sinners, the new Ryan Coogler film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in that. Although a misguided CGI dwarf extravaganza could be fun for me.
I mean, ask me which movie I'm more interested in seeing. The Ryan Coogler one. Ask me which one I am more likely to see in the theaters. The Snow White one.
I will give it that apparently Greta Gerwig was one of the screenwriters on the Snow White one, so it might have something going on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
So that
Halfway through
means
Snow
that automatically Noah Baumbach did a little bit of punch up as well. Probably.
We are.
I would.
Probably.
I think that's. I think that's the kind of thing that you mean as a joke, but I think could edge into misogyny, Stuart. So let's. So I would avoid.
No, but I know like
Well, they work
they're
together a lot,
partners.
though.
I know
Like,
they work together a lot and they're partners, but I don't want. I know that there's some. I don't want any listeners to be like, "Oh, Stuart thinks that Greta Gerwig can't do it on her own.
Thank
she
you.
needs no."
Yeah, I
Baumbach to
certainly
be the man
that is
behind
not
the
the
throne.
case for me.
I know you don't mean it that way. Yeah, but that being said, you probably did, right? Like you probably just like.
Yeah, that part where the dwarves are like smearing jizz all over books and shit in the library.
And the part where they're listening to Led Zeppelin. Yeah, sure. Guys, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Two things I have issues with in Squid and the Whale. One, that jizz on the books thing is too much. Two, none of the other kids in his school recognized that song. None of them knew that that was not a song that he wrote. Come on, Noah Baumbach. There's no way. I can't believe it. I can't imagine it. Come on. It was a huge song.
Well,
huge album.
Well,
It was a big deal.
put it in
band.
the IMDb goofs, I guess.
Put in the
goofs.
goofs. Yeah, put in the goofs.
All right, so
Squid and the
in
Whale? More like the squid and the goof. Oh, but that makes it sound like it's a squid fighting Goofy. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Now we've got it.
That sounds
now
like
we've
a
got problems.
great movie.
20,000 Goofs Under the Sea. Disney, do it. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, in April, you guys have a tough choice to make. It's going to be really hard. Do you want to run out to see Mickey 17, which is, of course, the next movie from Bong Joon-ho, the one that Warner Brothers and David Zaslav keep pushing back, despite the fact that Parasite, his last movie, literally won the Best Picture. That's Mickey 17.
And it's got Robert Pattinson doing a fun accent.
And you know that after someone wins an Academy Award, they always do their best work when they can do anything they want. A little movie called Babylon that was a little divisive, according to some.
Okay, I'm not going to get into that.
There might even be a whole podcast about when someone gets that kind of a blank check and whether it works out or not.
Or your other choice, of course, is you could run out and see a Minecraft movie starring Jason Momoa and Jack Black, directed by Napoleon Dynamite's Jared Hess, which is, as the title suggests, a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, it's there's a part in that trailer which again I've seen because the kind of movies I see in the theater now are the kind where they're in the
Wait, what's the trailer? What's it look like?
Yeah,
does
what
it look like
Tell us the
Minecraft?
tale.
It actually looks much better than the video game Minecraft, but it's just a bunch of people walking around in it's the same Jumanji, type story where a bunch of real life people get sucked into Minecraft and they get to Jack Black and he goes, "My name is Steve." And I had to turn to my children and be like, "What does that mean?" He said it as if it's a big thing. And they're like, "Steve's like the most famous character in Minecraft. Like come on, you don't know that?" But I would rather see the Bong Joon-ho movie, but I will be seeing Minecraft because my children have asked me about it many times.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Jumanji, wasn't it like they opened the game and all the shit came into the real world?
In the old Jumanji, in the new Jumanji, it's a video game that they're sucked into.
Yeah.
In the Jumanji that also features Jack Black.
Why don't they call it Jumanji Tron then? Because that's kind of what that is, right?
Jutronji. Yeah.
I don't know, that sounds like a slur or something.
Yeah, Jutronji does sound like it's Tron, but they're Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're getting into blockbuster territory now.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's find now that we're past
still around
a
video store.
Minecraft movie.
So the Minecraft movie. So which one? Wait. So which ones do you guys want to see? You didn't answer the question, Stuart. Minecraft or the other one?
I get the other one's the Bong movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to watch the shit out
I'm
of
going
that.
to take a hit
I can't
off
wait.
that Bong.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Minecraft movie, you watch the trailer for that, and actually, I want you to, Stuart, I want you to write down your script for a Minecraft trailer, and then I want you to watch the trailer and see how much it exactly matches exactly what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Not a lot of surprises in the Minecraft
I'll film
trailer.
it and I'll post it on my TikTok.
I mean,
so Elliot will never see it.
I gotta say, if I did
Stuart,
that exercise,
look, I don't have TikTok. I'm just doing what the American government wants me to do and not use TikTok.
Yeah, you're
okay?
right. Yeah. You were saying, that's what you say every time you get in your Elon Musk created car and fly, and you spend your Trump bucks on things.
If I did that exercise, it would genuinely be wild because I have no idea what Minecraft is. Is that the one that's all blocky? I don't know.
It's all blocky. You're just building things and occasionally you eat pigs.
That's as much as I know. What do you?
All right.
You think I'm like
I feel like you play more modern video games than I do.
Is Minecraft a modern video game?
I mean, what counts as modern? It's still a thing that people play.
No, you're right, actually.
I mean, modern art would be art from the early 20th century up to like the 1960s, 1970s. So,
I'm like officially like the
You're the
gaming nerd correspondent on this show. So
Yep.
I should do my research, guys. Yeah, before some
do your
like
own research.
somebody younger will replace me on this show.
Oh, almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a gaming correspondent and we have a hedgehog correspondent. Those are the two correspondents we have in this. And we have a Cat's premiere correspondent. So.
That's true. Okay, in May, you have the option of going out to see Thunderbolts, asterisk, Marvel's first big team-up movie in a while with sort of an anti-hero Avengers. Or you could see Final Destination Bloodlines, which is dubbed a reimagining of the Final Destination series, which has reached the point in every horror series life cycle where they add bloodlines to the title.
So this time,
guys.
the people are going after death. That's the reimagining.
Yeah.
I definitely have seen the Thunderbolts trailer, and it looks fine. And I mean, Florence Pugh. I mean, I'll watch. I mean, she's so charming.
She's great in lots of stuff. And you love David Harbour, right?
Yeah. I love big old David Harbour, and I want to support him in this difficult time since he's separating from his longtime partner.
Oh,
but
I didn't know that.
It's a shame.
You guys are so much more up on the personal lives of famous people than I am.
You guys might just lump me in.
You knew all about Zachary Levi.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, well, Elliot, I mean, I don't have children to waste time on. I have my phone.
That's true.
So.
That's fair. That's fair.
When I'm lying in bed, I'll look at when I'm lying on my deathbed and I'm dying, I'll look over my phone. I'll be like, I just wish I had more time with you, little kid.
Now, I'll be honest.
I just wish I could just watch one more trailer.
Yeah,
I'll be honest about the selections here in May. Clearly, at this point, you've twigged to the bit, which is that one movie is less appealing than the other film. But May, it was a harder one. Like Final Destination has been a pretty consistent series, but
it's being reimagined.
A reimagining, and it has bloodlines in the title. I think those are red flags.
They're huge red flags. But guys, I'm not very good at saying no when something is that attractive and still has red flags. And Final Destination is the hottest horror franchise, I would argue. It has the fewest misses.
Yes. Wait, what is it? The ceiling isn't that high, even though I do love a couple of them, but the floor also isn't that low on the Final Destination.
Yes, and the high moments, some of the best set pieces are like late in the series.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fucking
true.
Gymnastics set piece is incredible.
That is a great one. The gymnastics one is great.
That proves the fucking magic of cinema right there.
This is a hard one. It's hard. The original Thunderbolts comic book I loved. But I don't think they're not doing it the same way. So Thunderbolts, the original concept was they are villains who are pretending to be superheroes and nobody knows it. And some of the villains are feeling the urge to actually become heroes and others are not. And I feel like this is just going to be kind of like Suicide Squad, type stuff, or like, it's
probably.
I'm worried that it's going to be. What's funny is that Final Destination is all about people getting killed, and I'm like, I want to see it, elaborate, kind of crazy deaths. This is also, I'm sure they're going to kill a lot of people and I'm not going to like it. It's going to be a lot of killing people and making jokes about it. And it shows my duality when it comes to movies where a lot of people get killed. On the other hand, Wendell Pierce is in Thunderbolts, and I love Wendell Pierce. So I don't know. I don't think he's got a big role, but
What if, the thing
and I got to
is,
find out what that asterisk means. What does that asterisk on the title mean? What are they referring to? So
maybe it's asterisk from Asterisk and Obelisk.
Yeah,
what if that was the Asterix and Obelix? Have you heard about the Thunderbolts initiative? And they only speak ancient French, like ancient Gaelic. Like, come on. Then I'd be more interested. Yeah, but
and they are 100% hand drawn animated characters. I have no wiggle room on this one.
So I think I want to see our version of Thunderbolts Asterix that has Asterix and Obelix in it.
We'll say that's an option.
Sure.
Well, let's move on to June, where you've got an interesting choice. You could see 28. All of these are fascinating.
Yeah, it's real King Solomon's
sure.
choice.
You can see 28 years later, where the creative team behind 28 Weeks Later returns for a decades later installment of pseudo-zombie horror.
This is with Sandy B, Sandra Bullock.
No, you're thinking of.
No, that's 28 days later. The rehab.
No, just 28
movie.
days.
Oh, okay.
Just 28 days.
How to Lose a Guy in 28 Days.
No, that's.
Yeah.
Or you could run out.
You're thinking of 28 Days the Condor.
No. Oh, yeah.
You could run out and see, and this is the whole title: From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, which is of course the movie. The movie that asks, what if we removed John Wick from John Wick, but added the director of the Underworld series?
Well, it didn't work to remove Spider-Man from all those Spider-Man bad guy movies, but maybe
No.
John Wick's not as important to these characters.
I think
but the title includes
Elliot
From the World
is
of John Wick.
glossing over
Yes.
Madam Web, and I do not like this Madam Web erasure.
Madam Web is the one movie that kind of does have Spider-Man in it because he's a baby at the end.
It's true.
That's true.
That's why it kind of works.
Yeah, that's
Guys-
why it
In a
kinda
dumb
works.
way.
Guys, and we got to do Craven, right? We got to do Craven when it's available
I'm
for
Craven.
viewing.
Craven.
I'm also
I am.
Craven. I've kept away from reviews because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to see it as bad as it's meant to be.
I
you
had
know?
a friend who was going to see it, and I'm like, you know what? In another world, I would come out to the theater and watch Craven with you, but I know we're going to have to watch
It's
the
John
Flophouse.
Holmes, right?
We
John
got to
was
do
John
Craven. Yeah.
Who sees everything.
Yeah, he sees everything.
So this is either
He's like the fucking Watcher.
from the world of John Wick, the ballerina. Now, is this a character from the later John Wick movies, the ballerina, or is this a new
Well,
character?
I don't
Was she
know.
in the early ones? I don't remember her.
So Wick was associated with like that kind of like those Russian mob ballerinas. I don't know what the actual.
I
feel like
have to
went
stress
to-
that I don't pay that much attention to the John Wick movies after the first one. I watched at least one of them entirely on mute because I didn't want to wake up my wife and just
I mean,
assumed
that's
I
the-
could
to be
follow
honest,
the.
Totally fine way to watch them. Yeah.
I've seen all of them and really liked them, but seen all of them once. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay, so and what
Elliot,
was-
have you watched any of the John Wick movies?
I've seen the first two. I just haven't seen the third or the fourth. Because
Okay.
when the alert went out for John Wick that that they had to stop him, and every single person in New York checked their phone, I was like, I can't buy this world where everyone is a
it's,
hitman.
It's weird. If anything, you should at least watch some like the action sequences.
I will say-
of
I'll
part
watch
four.
the action
They're
sequences.
incredible.
Yeah.
For me,
Well, it's like Final Destination. I just want to see the death scenes. I don't need to
Yeah.
see any of the other scenes in the Final Destination movie.
I still liked 2, but for me 2 was like the dip, and then like I like 3 and 4 more than 2. So if you
Okay,
have any affection, I don't know.
Yeah.
they're
But
fine.
as you said before, there's limited time.
So
I
what are these
understand
two
you make your
movies?
own priorities.
We have Ballerina, and what's the other one?
28 years later.
There's
I'll
some-
probably
there's-
see that. I thought the last one, the first two were good.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw 28 weeks later, but
It's good.
28 days later I liked a lot. Yeah.
It was like pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's the baddie in it? From Train Spotting and Ravenous. What's his name? Robert
Robert
Carlyle.
Carlyle.
Yeah, he's really scary in it.
He's a scary guy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a weird one where, like other zombie movie, the Dawn of the Dead remake, I don't think it ever gets better than the opening, which is amazing.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
But the rest of the movie's pretty good.
I don't know, that moment, at the moment in 28 Days Later when he falls down, he looks up and there's a plane flying over the sky. That's a pretty powerful moment.
Well, no, I'm talking about the 28 weeks.
Oh, the
later,
sequel.
but-
Sequel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because there's a part, certainly by the end of 28 Days Later, when he's using the zombies for his like revenge fighting, I was like, all right, well, he's kind of turned into a superhero now. I don't love this,
Yeah.
but I love seeing that plane and it just being like, everyone just forgot about England. They don't care about it. They don't give a shit about it. Everyone's
Yeah.
living their life on other countries.
So because we're halfway through the year, I'm going to just take a brief break to mention a couple of Flophouse things. Of course, last week was our Ski School 2 Flop TV. And next month will be our Flop TV Season 2 big finale, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, a movie that I have somehow never seen in its entirety, so I don't know what
Really?
The Secret of the Ooze
What?
is. I will be learning The Secret of the Ooze.
I saw that
along
movie
with-
multiple times in the theater when it
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
I just missed it on the box office game recently. The Secret of the Ooze was not in my head.
Oh,
so,
wow. So
you
are
wanna
you
see my
familiar with
mind be
Toka and
blown.
Razor or no? the other mutants in it?
No, I don't know.
Okay, don't let me spoil the existence of Toka and Razor.
Yeah, but if you're interested, of course, go to theflophouse.simpletix.com. And if you get a season pass, you can watch all the old shows until the end of February. So that's coming up. And of course, as you are listening to this, if you're listening to it when it was released, next week is our live show at San Francisco Sketchfest on January the 19th at 7 p.m. at Cobb's Comedy Club. We will be talking about Cutthroat Island and doing our presentations. I have an idea for a presentation that I think is pretty good, guys.
Wow, don't oversell it.
Pretty good.
All right. Can't wait to see what's pretty good.
I've been working on it. That's been my big project lately. So if you're interested, you can go to sfsketchfest.com for tickets. Presuming we haven't sold out by then. Who knows?
We'll have to
Who
check.
knows?
It's possible. Yeah.
Have you been looking for a new podcast all about nerdy pop culture? Well, I have just the thing for you. Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries.
Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries is a weekly pop culture history podcast hosted by me, host Alston.
And me, host Brenda. We've already tackled mysteries such as what happened to the puppets from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Is Snoopy Mexican? And why do people hate Barney so much?
From theme parks to cartoons to 80s, 90s, and 2000s nostalgia, we tackle it all.
Check us out every Tuesday on MaximumFun.org and wherever you get podcasts.
One thing we all have in common, we all have a mind.
It makes me so scared because I'm like, when is the bad thing going to happen?
And minds can be kind of unpredictable and eccentric.
Everybody wants to hear that they're not alone. Everybody wants to hear that someone else has those same thoughts.
Depeche Mode with John Moe is about how interesting minds intersect with the lives and work of the people who have them. Comedians, authors, experts, all sorts of folks trying to make sense of their world.
It's not admitting something bad if you say, this is scary.
Depeche Mode with John Moe, every Monday at MaximumFun.org or wherever you get podcasts.
Let's get back to the series of infernal choices you have to make.
To
Oh, it's been so tough.
2025.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sophie herself would have trouble making these choices.
Mhm.
So in July, would you...
Sophie Tucker, that is, the last of the Red Hot Mamas. Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
In July, would you prefer to go out and see Superman, which was the most watched Warner Brothers trailer ever, or some nonsense record like that? James Gunn, of course, taking creative control of DC, returning Superman to the tone of Superman. And,
It's got pretty much the same music in the trailer, right? Or a variant
yeah,
of
well,
that
they
music?
they use a heavy metal version of John Williams' theme.
Oh, this was.
Cool.
And Crypto's in it.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Crypto's
dog.
super
He's
dog.
got
I haven't
superpowers.
seen the trailer yet.
Sounds
I hear it's
fun.
really good, actually.
Or
There's a lot of kissing in the trailer, at least the one that I saw.
What?
Surprising amount of Soups and Lois kissing, yeah.
Stuart, you like kissing.
I love kissing.
And your favorite character, Mr. Terrific, also appears in it.
Oh, yippee.
Or you have the option, of course, to see Jurassic World Rebirth. It's born again. Did you miss it in the whole 3 years since the last one? Elliot, you love dinosaurs. You must be thirsting for this one.
I do love dinosaurs. I got to admit, this is now we're in the real world that young Elliot never thought he would find himself in, where I'm so bored by both superhero movies and dinosaur movies that I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Or specifically the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movies. Like, if there's another movie with dinosaurs, I'll eat that up. But I feel like both of these, I'm like, let's let these franchises, just lay low for
Guys,
a while.
what was the last non-Jurassic movie that had a dinosaur in it?
The 65 that we watched.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and Tree of Life. Tree of Life also has some great dinosaur footage in it. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, although because I have disliked the Zack Snyder characterization of Superman so much, like it does feel like that character, in my mind, has been dead for years, and we haven't seen.
That's true. I definitely am curious to see a Superman movie where he does not snap people's necks or just allow thousands of people to get killed during his fights. As far as we know, maybe that's James Gunn's surprise, is that his Superman is kind of a bumbling Clark Kent and a lighthearted Soups, but he still kills people. Who knows?
Is he doing like a movie version of like All-Star Superman or something? What's he doing?
It looks very All-Star Superman-y, color-wise, color palette-wise, but it's not the same story because, like, in the trailer, the thing that threw me off with the trailer is that there's also, like, I think, like, Hawkman or someone shows up in it, and there's Green Lanterns in it. Mr. Terrific
Fillion in there as one of the Green Lantern.
Guy Gardner,
he probably plays Guy Gardner. It's like, I kind of would love to see a Superman movie where it's just Superman and it's not all these other characters, but
not carrying the weight of an entire IP, like a whole franchise.
Yes, exactly. But I'm curious about what's rebirthing about Jurassic World. Rebirth is another one of these really lazy subtitles. Like Rises is probably the laziest one because it means nothing. It's so incredibly meaningless.
I think that the real answer is it is the studio being like, okay, we understand you didn't really like those last couple of ones. We're doing something different.
I feel like at this point with a number of these franchises, they should just be like Jurassic World 2025.
Yeah,
and
or just
next
Jurassic
time they make
World, or just Jurassic World 4. Just put a number at the end of it,
Yeah.
But that's the way they used to do the airport movies. Was it would be like Airport 75, and you'd be like, oh, the new airport is out, the new model of the airport movies. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in August, you have a choice to make, and that is, would you with a bear?
I don't think we made a choice in July. I don't think we ever actually chose anything. But
I don't know. Do you have a choice to make?
I'll see Superman. I'll see Superman. I'll go see the Superman movie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see Jurassic World Rebirth probably.
August, you could watch The Battle of Bactan Cross, which there's no plot details yet, but this is Paul Thomas Anderson's next film. And it is apparently the biggest budget he's ever had, in part because he's got DiCaprio as his lead. And so the studio's like,
well, I sure loved that last movie of his. Ugh. No,
wait,
thank
you didn't like
Licorice Pizza?
Oh, I thought you were talking about DiCaprio's last movie.
No, Paul Thomas Anderson's last movie.
You didn't like Licorice Pizza?
No, not a big fan. Didn't really like it. I kept waiting for the movie to kind of kick into gear and do something that I liked, and it just never did it.
I don't agree with you, but he's got a good track record in general, even if you
sure
didn't care for that one.
He's someone I have to admit I admire his movies more than I like them, to be honest.
Your other option, of course, and there's only one other option. There are only 2 movies being released in all these months. Your other option.
So Hollywood really is in trouble. They're releasing 24 movies this year. Yeah. The whole industry.
Your other option would be Untitled Insidious sequel. With a title like that, anything's possible.
Wow, they still haven't untitled it, and it's coming out next year.
It's going to be a tough box office weekend, I got to tell you.
I'll have to go see. I'll have to go see Backsidious. That'll be the way you watch both of them at the same time. Yeah,
you'll have to watch all of the previous titled Insidious films so you understand this untitled one.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go. As much as I didn't like Licorice Pizza, I think I'll go see Battle of Bactan Cross.
Okay.
If only because it makes me think of Back to Tanks.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Maybe there's a Back to Tank in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in September, here's some interesting ones. You could see The Bride, ! This is not the words, but it's just The Bride. The Bride! A musical adaptation of The Bride of Frankenstein, which is, listen to this, written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, with an all-star cast, including Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Penelope Cruz, Annette Bening, and, of course, Maggie's husband, Peter Sarsgaard.
Sure.
Or Saw 11. What new fiendish traps are Shill in the Ideas Notebook?
This is like when Ogami Ito made Daigoro choose between the ball and the sword. This one's a tough one.
To be honest, Saw's doing it right with the titles. Just slap a number on there. Yeah. Just do it. We know how many Saws are. This is great.
It has gotten confusing briefly in there. They
That's
stray
true.
from the numbers.
Yeah, we had to go pick up the book of Saw.
Yeah, there's the one that's just called Jigsaw.
I think Spiral Book of Saw. I think that's the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna see
they're all
I'm
going to
see
have
them.
the same music in the end. It's
Yeah.
I hate them all and also kind of like them
And
all.
you also love them. I mean, I got to see The Bride. I got to see a musical version of Bride of Frankenstein. Come on.
and I love Jessie Buckley. She's
Yeah.
great.
I got to admit, I know that it's not a good movie, but Spiral from the Book of Saw was one of the first movies like after
That you ever saw?
Yeah.
no, after
Maybe,
like
yeah.
I was fully vaccinated for COVID and like things were quieting
Dan
down.
was
and
vaxxed and waxed.
theaters were reopening.
He got vaxxed, then he got a waxing. This is the first time he could really go to the waxer.
I
yeah.
was just so thirsty to see a movie in the theater that I saw Spiral from the Book of Saw and had a good time because I'm like, oh, God bless seeing a movie in the theater.
Yeah,
after
that's fair.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
being able to do that.
I think that was.
I get it.
I think that was Nobody for me, the Bob Odenkirk action movie. That was a blast.
In October, this is an interesting one. You got this is from the director of The Place Beyond the Pines, a movie that
Sure.
I didn't, I'm
It's
mixed
okay.
on,
It's
but
fine.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's too bad The
called-
Place Beyond the Pines, it's too bad the first third of that is the most interesting part of the movie. And
Yeah.
then it gets kind of less and less interesting as it goes on.
But they've made a movie called Roof Man, which is a true crime
All right.
story about
Another
an ar-
superhero movie.
No,
The
no.
powers of a roof. Great. He can
It's a
cover
true-
things. Fantastic.
It's a true crime story about an army officer turned thief of McDonald's franchises.
All
And it
right, now
stars-
I'm listening.
It stars Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst. Or you could run right out and see Tron Ares, where they decided that what the Tron franchise needed was Jared Leto. They put Jared Leto in Tron now.
He makes every movie better, Dan. Name one movie he made worse.
You know what? I can't just name one movie that he made worse.
I challenge you to limit it to one.
So those are some saucy options.
I will say, like, Jared Leto is often in good movies, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Jared
it's
Leto, I will say,
impossible
is-
for him to put in a bad performance. Like
He can be a good
do it.
actor. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that, like,
He's also
whoever
a madman.
puts him in movies generally picks good projects for,
Yeah.
like, whether it's Blade Runner, Panic Room, et cetera, et cetera.
I think he is best deployed as sort of a spice on the side.
Sure, yeah, not the main dish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
so,
a reason that he did not play the main lead in House of Gucci, but instead was
Mhm.
the wacky sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say
I think
Roof
the
Man.
first one. Yeah, Roof Man. I'm gonna
Sure.
say Roof Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in November, what we've got on the plate is you can see
Days are getting shorter.
days getting
November.
shorter.
Mhm. Leaves are
You know,
falling off the trees, going to the movies.
Everyone's turkeys are hiding.
They certainly are.
This is
They're
like
hi-
we're
they're hiding,
really
yeah.
starting to kick into award season. You know,
Mhm.
people are starting to think.
Yeah.
Word season?
Yeah, word season.
And here's an awards season movie for you. The Running Man, Edgar Wright's new adaptation of Stephen King's Richard Bachman novel of the same name, starring newly minted star Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
The Running Man.
Hey, they'll make America love him. They're just going to keep trying.
You know, I was a doubter, but then between Hitman and to a lesser degree Twisters, I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Well, I get it. I think he's super handsome. He's super charismatic. I think he's a good actor. But I feel like it's starting to have the feeling to me of when Hollywood loves somebody, but America is not like, yeah, we love this. Like America needs to discover a star for itself in some ways, or choose a star for itself.
His name is Paul Giamatti, and America loves him.
I mean, to be honest, Paul Giamatti is one of those actors where Hollywood was not like, we got to put Paul Giamatti in everything. But America was like, we like Paul Giamatti. We want to
But
see him in movies. Yeah.
I would argue that he has now broken through to America with Twisters.
Y'all, if they made a Running Man movie starring Paul Giamatti, I would
That
be
would
like,
be-
day
I
one,
would
baby.
love it. I would love it. That would be
Well,
great.
I would show
Well-
up wearing merch for the movie before I'd even seen the movie.
Let's table the
You'd have just sweatpants with Running Man down the leg. Yeah.
Well, it's got to have a picture of Paul.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's on the butt. Yeah.
let's table the Powell Giamatti talks until you hear
They're
the other.
rivals, Dan. Look, they're feuding rivals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays Buzzsaw.
You gotta hear the other option available.
We're going to
to
start
you.
this Giamatti Powell beef here on the podcast.
So the question is, do you think that this is going to be a...
Wait, hold on. There's a second movie.
okay, fine.
Uh, Then tell me what. I'm curious to know what you're going to say. Or
Okay.
the other option is David, which is a computer animated movie about David and Goliath from the director of Jungle Beat, the movie. Okay,
Okay,
Stuart,
well,
what
yeah,
were you-
and I'm very familiar with Jungle Beat, certainly, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I know it. You know, do you think that the Edgar Wright Running Man is going to be closer to the original short story, or more like the big, almost like the more obvious skewering of reality television that the movie was?
Well, is it like a weird thing to say both? Because I mean, I do think that it probably is going to hew closer to the story, because like the Schwarzenegger movie is very different than the novel, and I feel like there's a
It
lot
has
of meat
so little
on that
to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
novel bone. But I do think that Edgar Wright could do a lot with, a reality TV.
And it feels
thing.
like if he's leaning more. I mean, Edgar Wright, I think, is a very good action director, so I'm excited to see him doing that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll see that. That's certainly the one I'm more interested in seeing. I hope that the Running Man, the story, is an attack on a political system, and the Running Man, the movie, the old one is a parody of television. And I hope I would like this one to steer more into the political aspect. That it's less about, can you believe what they put on TV these days, and is more about what kind of culture creates this thing in order to distract people or give them a thing to do. Because the exciting thing about the story is that he's off in the world. And they're like, he's out in public and they're trying to get him, and people have to be either complicit or not complicit with that hunt, so.
Well, and I also like, the casting of Glenn Powell. I mean, obviously a very handsome man, but more of a normal man than Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Yes.
Where like from the start, you're like, oh, I mean, like he'll do fine. Whereas in the story, like it is like a normal dude who has to go through this. And
But what if they cast more of an everyman? Just hear me out. What if instead of casting Glenn Powell, they cast
who would you think?
somebody-
Who would you think? Someone who's like a little bit less kind of like leading man, looks, that kind of thing. More of a-
traditional, but like he's got a certain charisma and charm that really catapults him into leading man status.
Yeah,
I don't
even
know.
though
I think-
Hollywood doesn't want him in that position, but America just demands it. They just demand to see him. Who would be that guy? Yeah.
Now, don't hate me. Okay, I know I don't want you guys to get mad at me.
I'll
you guys
never hate you,
you've
Stuart.
gotten really tough on me lately.
I feel like I want someone whose last name is Italian, but who doesn't come off as super Italian.
Yes, exactly. I think that's important, but at the same time, there's this element of like it adds a little bit of an edge to him.
There's an ethnic tinge to him that gives him a little air of just not just your
Weird
milk
road
toast
we've
kind of
driven
leading
down.
man.
Somebody who has like a pretty nice, lengthy career, has done some high-profile television work, as well as has played a United States president on television before. Somebody like that, but also
Somebody
could be like a
who's-
salt-of-the-earth everyman,
Somebody who's as comfortable playing a guy who has to be a bartender because he has debts to pay, and an ape that sells humans as slaves. Someone who can do both those roles. Who could that be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just eyeing the leave button on this Zoom meeting.
Okay, so I'm going to go see Running Man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
with Paul Giamatti, hopefully.
With Paul
We'll see Running Man,
Giamatti.
yeah.
Thank you.
Paulie G.
And Edgar Wright is the one director I can think of right now who I don't think they're going to do the climax of the story where he crashes an airplane into a building, which Stephen King has said since then. He's like, I feel like I can't write that now. But I wonder but the fact that as he is walking towards the cockpit, the main character, his guts are hanging out and his intestine gets caught on a chair and are pulling out of his body as he walks. I could see Edgar Wright doing that scene. So I remember reading that scene and being like, "This is amazing. This is the most grotesque kind of hero climax I can imagine."
All right. Well, we've reached the end of the year, where all the big movies come out, and here we go.
I want to wait. I should mention. I was hard on Stuart about what he said about Noam Baumbach earlier and Greta Gerwig. I should mention I have nothing against Italian people. I don't mind if someone's very Italian. I was just trying another way to try to hint at Paul Giamatti,
Sure. But in December, you have the option to either see Marty Supreme, which is reportedly A24's most expensive movie, a sports drama about what? A sports drama about
it's not about Martin Scorsese opening up like a diner.
That's what I
That's the
thought.
big dish. Yeah.
Marty Supreme. It's a sports drama about ping pong and it stars Timothy Chalamet, and it's directed by Josh Safdie.
Okay, I like the
Safdie.
Softy movies.
Oh, Safdie, yeah.
Safdie.
Or Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Do you
That's
dare
10
spend
nights
a
at
sixth
Freddy's. Nights 6 through 10 at Freddy's.
So
I can't believe that's so many nights, guys.
There's a lot of nights to
Do you
be at
take the
Freddy's.
weekends off? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, I've probably spent, 5 nights at Freddy's over the course of my time here at Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There's a bar.
Freddy's Bar, owned by my business partner, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I could only spend one night at McCool's. More than 5 nights at Freddy's
No.
would be too much.
Yeah, if you spend more than one night at Freddy's, see your doctor.
Yeah. I mean, and I only spent...
Yeah, because the robots cut you up. Yeah.
I think I only spent 3 nights at the museum, and those were huge, and Ben Stiller's there.
And those were spaced out over different times in different museums. Yeah.
I spent a night at the opera once. Just once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I spent a day at the races. Don't forget that. That was the
Yeah,
next day.
true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think those? Yeah. Do you think those stacked on each other? Anyway. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. So Marty Supreme. I think I'll probably see.
Okay.
I'll probably see Marty Supreme.
So
I
wait,
see how you
was
fixed
their
this one.
previous most expensive movie Civil War, I think?
I don't know. I really don't. I feel like Beau is Afraid must have been wildly expensive.
It looks very
especially
expensive.
considering how little money I think it made for them.
So it says, according to this, I'm looking at it right now, Civil War was the previous one. It says Civil War's budget, according to Wikipedia, was $50 million. This is $70 million. So
Most of that went to Jesse Plemons for his one scene. He's like, I'm only available, but you gotta pay.
I know you're going to use this in the trailer, so you got to pay me $50 million. That's the whole
worth
budget.
It's the best scene.
He's great.
And his, I mean, he probably didn't have to get paid that much since his wife is the star of the movie. Also,
yeah. Probably.
Again, we're talking about a different movie than the one which. Yeah, so Marty
Yes.
Supreme. I'm curious how
okay.
this sports drama could cost that much money. Maybe they're holding a Super Bowl. I don't know. But yeah, Beau's Afraid. I wonder what the budget for that was. That did look very expensive.
Check
Yeah.
it out.
And Lupone
think-
doesn't come cheap.
No. that's what her business card says.
Yeah, don't come cheap. This says, so according to Wikipedia, the budget was $35 million.
Wow.
That's a lot for 30.
It's all up on screen.
It is all up screen. I think more is on screen even than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm afraid.
Well,
You haven't watched, wait, Beau's Afraid you haven't watched, or the other
I
one?
haven't
you
watched Beau's Afraid. Yeah.
There's some stuff in it that I loved and some stuff in it where I was like, movie, you should have cut this out. Don't have this in here. But it's certainly a singular vision,
you like movies that are, I mean, I know that you like, speaking of the Safdie brothers, you like movies that are sort of anxiety fever dreams.
Yeah.
And Beau is Afraid is definitely that.
Certainly is.
So-
Certainly those opening scenes where it's in the city. It's nonstop anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's got. It made me think of. I mean, just the trailer made me think of Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah. They're very different movies, but in some ways they're very similar movies. But I would say the main character in Synecdoche, New York, he causes trouble for himself in a way that seemed less like he was a doofus than Beau does. There are times in Beau's Afraid where I'm like, Beau, just fucking do what you're supposed to do. like this is not that
Straighten up.
difficult.
Straighten
Come
up
on.
and fly right, Beau.
When Nathan Lane is like, Beau, we can't take you today, Beau should have been like, well, then I'll just go on my own. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
you. I can find another way to get where I'm going. I don't need you to drive me. But Beau's afraid. He's very afraid. So
Yeah.
He is afraid. That's
I
one
feel
thing
like-
we
I
know
feel
about
like-
him.
that is the one thing we know. But I think the thing that the movie can't quite decide is how afraid he is.
What was the original title? What was the working title of that? It was
Beau is
something
not
like-
afraid. And then they made a big change in the story.
Mm.
It was called like Heartbreak Boulevard or something.
Oh, really?
It was something different.
That would be a terrible title.
I don't think that was that specific thing, but it was something weird. Cool. So that was
It was
that was a
originally
year.
titled Disappointment Boulevard.
Okay.
Mm.
So that's a year of those. Which are you most excited for, and why is it the dinosaur? Is there a dinosaur one? What's
Yeah, it's
That
the
Jurassic
dinosaur
World one?
Jurassic World.
I don't
They should-
know.
Yeah.
I love movies, so I'm gonna see them all.
Yeah.
I don't have to pick one.
No, this is like look, I made, like I said, I stacked it with some silly choices in there, but there's some movies in there that I'm really excited to see. It's nice to have something to look forward to in this,
In
this life.
2025. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, of course, was our comprehensive and very serious preview of the next year in film. For the Flophouse, I've been Dan McCoy.
Now I'm Stuart Wellington.
And I'm Elliot Kalin saying, even if all the other movies are crap, you got to believe Hollywood will release at least one good movie next year. And I can't wait to see it.
Bye.
Okay, let's do this mini.
Let me
finish it. Alex, leaving that Mortal Kombat Techno remix somewhere. Just slip it in somewhere. Most impressive.
Friendship.
Get over here.
Maybe at the end. Maybe you don't just like stick it in the middle.
No, yeah, just insert it in the middle. Dynamically insert it.
Yeah, okay.
Do it dynamically.
Do everything dynamically. Okay. Oh, God.
Maximum Fun.
A worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.